Now, alcohol is absolutely frying your brain, and you probably don't even know that this is happening. And it's something that most people get wrong when it comes to stopping drinking. But today in this video, I'm going to show you how a trip to a war-torn country, skiing in Japan, and going to an old English colony made me realize a secret to stopping drinking. So to save you a trip to the other side of the world, let me break it down for you in this video today. Because by the end of it, I'm actually going to show you how to rewire your brain to make stopping drinking easy. Now, just before we get into the video, if you want to get access to a free video training that shows you how to get control of your drinking fast, then go ahead and click the link in the description. It's a video that I can't publish on YouTube, so what you've got to do is put your name and email address in, and then a new video will start playing that shows you my new method to getting control of your drinking in as little as 48 hours. Tens of thousands of people have already watched this video. The feedback has been amazing, but I can't publish it on YouTube, so you've got to click the link down below to get access to it. So go ahead, click the link down below. That video will blow you away. So let's get into it. What basically happened in January of this year, me and my girlfriend, we went through a little bit of a yearly plan. So we sat down together, we wrote down, all the great things that have happened over the past few years, where we found a lot of fulfillment in the past and what we want to do more of in 2024. And very shortly after that plan, we decided that we wanted to travel. We wanted to make the most of traveling because, back during COVID, we had a plan to travel. That was our plan. And then we'd booked this flight to Bali, and then boom, the borders had closed. And ever since then, we didn't really travel. We've been a few places, but we wanted to do a bigger trip. And God bless, my work is remote. I have a YouTube channel, my business is online, and this was my dream when I wanted to stop drinking, was to be able to do this kind of stuff. And God bless, I'm in a fortunate enough position to do it. So we decided at the beginning of the year, let's get it done. And we just booked a flight. So we just went quickly. We didn't wait around. We just said, right, let's get this going. And basically we were living out of a suitcase, right? We'd already left our apartment in Dubai. We'd left the villa that we were in Koh Samui, and all we had were our suitcases. We were literally living out of a suitcase. We'd stored our belongings in a car in an airport in Thailand and just set off. I've met a few friends that live their life this way. I've got a friend with a family that does it. I've got a few single friends that do it. And when I was looking at it, I thought, looks like a great time. Let's just give it a go. We were fortunate enough to go skiing in Japan. We went to Tokyo. We went to Seoul in Korea. We spent some time in Malaysia. We went back to Thailand. We were traveling around having a great time. And funnily enough, all of this reminded me of drinking alcohol. I know it's weird. I know it's a weird thing to say, but the lifestyle was very similar. And what I mean by this is that we'd wake up and it was almost like we were seeking pleasure all the time. We'd wake up, we'd go for breakfast in this place. Then, when we were skiing, we're going skiing. Then we're coming back and then we're looking for some nice food to eat, some nice place to sit down. We're going into a store, looking for a snack, looking to take a little chocolate bar with us the next day while we're skiing to get some energy on the mountains. Then I remember in Korea, it's like, okay, well, what entertainment could I do? What thing could I go and sightsee today? What am I going to eat today? And I remember whilst we were traveling, I would get home, and I remember opening my laptop, and I knew there were things that had to get done, and I was just like, the pain of doing the work right now was so severe that I just closed the laptop. I did make some videos whilst we were traveling, but I remember the feeling of like, oh, I gotta make this video, because making videos is hard. It takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of thought to come up with ideas and pull out the camera and then get it set up. I mean, you can't really see, but this is like on a tripod, and then I had to set this up, and it takes a lot of energy. And I remember thinking about doing the video, and whilst I got it done, I just remember the pain. I was like, I could be having a nice coffee somewhere. I could be seeing this building, that building. But what happened whilst traveling is it was a very hedonistic lifestyle. And don't get me wrong, I'd do it all again. It's not like, it's not like I was drinking alcohol. But I remember when I drank alcohol, my mind worked a very similar way. The thought of reading a book, taking a course, doing something that would better my life when I could have drank alcohol. How am I going to do that thing when I could just go out and have some drinks? And the funny thing is I actually tried to make a YouTube channel for years before I started the stop drinking content, and I would have these periods of my life where I'd make videos and I was sober, and it was like these 2 months where I might make 3 videos. And listen, you can't see these videos, these are very old, they're unlisted now, too embarrassing to post. But anyway, so I'd make 3 videos and then I'd drink for 3 months, and then there'd be a 3-month gap of no videos. And it's because I'd get back into that state of mind of seeking pleasure, seeking dopamine. Where am I going to get this cocktail? Where am I going to get this bottle of wine? But don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to put travel and drinking alcohol in the same category. It just gave me a glimpse back into how things work. Because I still got work done. I still did a few things. It wasn't like my life went to complete like it did when I was drinking. But the whole traveling experience was short-term gratification. I got hooked back on short-term gratification. So anyway, after moving around for a while, it just came to a point where we were in Malaysia at this point, we were in Kuala Lumpur, and we'd had enough. We're like, do you know what? This isn't the lifestyle for us. We know we've got friends that do it, but I don't know if I can keep doing it this way. And then also when I was in KL, all the work that I'd been avoiding whilst traveling had started building up, and I got pretty stressed and I felt a lot of pressure because there was so much chaos that I'd accumulated from not doing the work and living a fun life, which by the way, I'd do it again. But I got quite stressed and I was like, nah, this isn't the life for me. Now, the great thing is that unlike when I was drinking, it was very easy just to say, okay, we'll pause on this for a while and we'll move back and get a home. And then it made me remember when I was drinking alcohol, I might have had that feeling 100 times. I might have felt like, I have had enough of this lifestyle. I don't want to live my life this way anymore. And then the next day I'd drink again. And that might last 8 months, right? I might have this 8-month binge that just went on and on and on and on and on. It's not like I could have just said to myself, right, I'm stopping, because I would want to, but it would just keep going. And this cycle of this short-term gratification whilst drinking just never seemed to end. And it fried my brain. It became so difficult to focus on, the hard things that actually better your life, the long-term things that you can do today, like eating right, like going to a gym, like reading a book. These are things that you do today that you might not see a benefit for for 6 months. You might read a book today that's hard to read, but then 6 months later, you're like, oh, I remember that thing from that book. Boom. You're able to handle this situation, that situation much better. But when you're drinking, it's always like, I just want it now. I just want the dopamine now. Give me it, give me it, give me it. But anyway, we're now back in Dubai. We came back to Dubai. We're in this villa. And now we're into this really good routine. We're waking up at the same time every day. We're doing some work. And then we're going straight to the gym. We're eating home food. We're not, going to restaurants anymore. I feel like I'm on top of things now. There's just less chaos in my life. I'm less stressed. And I feel a lot more peaceful. And now what I'm doing is I'm spending my time doing things that will benefit me in the long term. Like, for example, this video I'm making right now, we might not publish it for 3 weeks. But I'm doing things today that the future me will thank me for. But I find it, interestingly, so much easier to make this video than when I was traveling. I find it so much easier to open my laptop and do something really difficult and taxing than when I was traveling. And that's why I wanted to make this video for you today. There is no way that somebody can drink alcohol and become the best version of themselves. It is impossible, because the pain of doing the things that are important to you long term becomes so much greater when you know that there's an easy way out. When you know that there's a way to escape through a bottle, why would you do the hard thing today when you can take the easy path, the path of least resistance, the path of drug addiction? Listen, it's not clever to sit around and consume a drug. The traveling stuff, yeah, listen, okay, maybe it wasn't the best use of time, but in a flick of a switch, I'm out. I'm back. I'm back into my routine. But when you're drinking, it's not that simple. Those binges, those drinking periods can last a person's entire life. But when you're always seeking the dopamine of now, of the high now, the hit now, how can you really be performing at 100%? Well, the answer is you can't. Nobody can. And I don't care how successful you are. I don't care if you've got millions in the bank, an amazing business, you're a professor, a doctor. It doesn't matter. There is no way that you are being the best version of yourself whilst you are drinking that drug. It's a cheap, dopamine-seeking, Neanderthal way to live. But you're better than that. If you actually think about it, the only reason why you're alive today is because you've got a series of ancestors that have continually been strong enough to reproduce. So you're literally the accumulation of some of the strongest species in mankind, and you think that drinking alcohol is normal and okay. The only reason why you're alive today is because you are a strong person, and you're a powerful person that doesn't need to put a drug in their body. You're not designed that way. There's no need for it whatsoever. And I promise you one thing, when you get rid of alcohol, you will get addicted to long-term gratification. And that's when in a year from now, you will become unrecognizable. If you click the video on the screen now, you can learn why everybody is stopping drinking.